I'm Al.
Ahoy, I'm Woody.
We're from the Skid Factory in Australia. That's Rumbles, the shop dog. And we're judging the Enginuity category of the 2021 International Car Show from Deboss Garage. Deboss. Aboot Garage.
So Aaron and Rich asked us to judge again this year for the competition. We kind of set out a bit of a criteria as to what we were looking for. The main thing being engine swaps. That's what we like to do. We like to hang around and put engines into places where they're not meant to be, into vehicles that they're not meant to be in. So that was our criteria, and there was a heap of entries. Thanks everyone for, first of all, sending in your entries, because there was so many awesome cars, not only in the top 25, but all the entries from the get-go were awesome. There's some really cool swaps out there.
We saw heaps of really cool stuff that weren't in the top 25, so I guess if you're going to enter next time, you got to get your mates and your significant others to upvote, because that's how you're going to end up in the top 25, which is where we're going to judge from.
I'll be honest, my pick for the winner probably wouldn't even been in this top 25. I think there were some really cool cars down there, so again, thanks everyone for entering. But we've been given a top 25 list, and we're going
to pick 3 favourites, each of us from each, and then we'll
I'd love to go through all of them, but
debate it. It's going to take hours if we try and go through all of them. So I'm just going to pick 3. You want to start, or do you want me?
So
to
you
start?
go through your top 3. I'll go through my top 3.
Okay. So one of my tops is was the highest vote count, which is the Rat Truck, a 1965 F100, which is had a lot of really interesting sort of fabrication work and sort of metal craft performed on it. It's also got a 4.6 mod motor in it from a Crown Vic, and also the entire front end of the Crown Vic
that's
been grafted in, and the metal work from that right down to it's got a lot of sort of rat roddy sort of innovation in it. It is outstanding. It's got a bit of woodwork in it as well, so it certainly deserves to be at the top for voting wise as far as I'm concerned. So that's one of my faves.
It has got a lot of ingenuity, but I suppose the Crown Vic swap thing is cool, but I don't know, lots of ingenuity in the. Well, you call it like an art piece, really.
Yeah, it's sort of rolling art. Well, that's what he calls it, rat truck rolling metal art.
There you go.
And it's pretty good description, I would have thought. You want to do one of yours?
Yeah, sure. So we obviously had to pick different ones too. So I'm going to go through mine, and this is a modified engine crane, basically. Aussie guy, obviously, because it's powered by a iron line, the mighty iron line, and basically what he's said is he does a lot of engine swaps and conversions in places that there's not concrete, or it's not a shed and it's a gravel driveway, or it's in a paddock or something, and the pain was trying to get an engine out with an engine crane. And if you've ever tried to move an engine crane on anything that's not
even if
flat,
it is perfectly flat concrete, an engine crane will find that zip tie or that bit of wire or that tiny little rock, and it will stop.
Yeah, so he's made this, I suppose, chassis and shortened the diff down, and it's small enough to fit into a box trailer, and it's using a 5-litre V8. And I thought, why would you use
it? Seems like a bit of overkill using the iron line, but I think his rationale was it was the sort of like a forklift, how you got to counterweight whatever you're lifting, and that was the heaviest engine he had available. So
it does say that he hasn't finished it off quite yet, but it is cool, and ingenuity wise, that is awesome. It's something that it's
outside the square, but
for sure,
definitely it's built for a purpose, so that's all good.
And that is one of my picks. You're gonna go back through one of yours.
Yeah, let's have a look. 91 Range Rover. So it's pretty much the old original style Range Rover from the 80s.
I do like Rangies, eh?
So this particular car was, I'm not sure where they are, but I'd say it's in possibly Canada. rusted out. Range Rovers have got aluminium panels and stuff, but anything that's not aluminium is usually rusty. So a lot of the car was rusted away, and he sort of pulled it apart and pulled the body off the frame and redid the frame and replaced all the sheet metal with basic stuff. Young fella. So it's a thumbs up from me for getting in and getting it done and sort of finishing it. So I don't think it doesn't look like it completely finished because it's got no windows in it, but engine wise, the V8 engine was pulled from it, which they're not the greatest engine in the world.
A lot of people use those engines in other things too.
Because they're light. Well, they used to be the lightest aluminium thing. But he swapped it out for a Volkswagen, I think it's an ALH. I guess it's a 2-litre turbo diesel Volkswagen engine that he got from another probably rusted out Volkswagen in the Rust Belt, and made his own adapter plate and stuff like that to make it fit up to the Range Rover transmission and that. So it's pretty Enginuity-ish.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
do stuff like that. It's not as easy as it looks, and it's pretty much did it all himself. So it's pretty cool, and it's sort of all running and working. So
it's a really cool video too. I did like that.
Yeah, he did a nice video. That's the other thing we're looking for when you're entering these categories is you need to make it a good video for it.
Well, at least have some effort put into it.
We we need everything spoon fed to us, and you got to make a decent video and tell us about it, and that will be sort of something that might make you stand out over the rest.
For sure. All right, so my next pick, so it's a 2004 Hijet, and I've recently got a really huge appreciation for these little K trucks. Now, this thing's actually got it's like a drift car, a track car. So he's got an MX-5 1.8 litre engine. Swap that in, and that's actually behind the cab. It's in the centre of the car. It's got a bunch of cool shots of along the way and a pretty cool story. So Daihatsu Hijet. For how much does this thing weigh? What did it say? It weighs? Yeah, nothing at all. You can probably pick it up with your pinky. And 250 horsepower, 1.8 litre.
250 brake
horsepower.
That wasn't a very good English accent.
Look, that'd be an awesome car to drive, and even on the track, that'd be an absolute weapon. So hats off to you, man. That's a great car.
So my third one was also fairly high up the list for good reason. It's a Triumph GT6, which is a sort of English sports car from, I'm going to say, the 70s. Pretty cool thing back in the day. And obviously it's in America, and it's probably also in the Rust Belt, so there was not much left of it by the time these people got it. So it's a father and son team, which is pretty cool. We recently built a car for my son, he's 15, and it's a pretty cool thing to do.
You can check that video out up here.
Bond with your family. They put I think a Corvette rear end in it. Shortened.
It was a C4, I think it was, Corvette rear end. But the
85 Corvette, so it would be C3, I think. Maybe C4, I don't know. Crown Vic front end. It's just basically the entire thing. The only thing that's Triumph about it is the body. And when it came to the engine, they said specifically that everyone's sick of LS swaps. But at the end of the day, the LS swap was probably the best idea for it because it's a lightweight aluminium engine. Interestingly enough, they got a front-wheel drive an LS4, so 5.3 aluminium front-wheel drive engine, which is a little bit different to the others. They obviously made it rear-wheel drive, but I think the bell housing pattern must be. It's got a Jeep bell housing that bolts to the engine that then bolts to a Tremec T5 from a Mustang. So kind of a little bit of a junkyard combo there. So it looks like it's coming to an end.
I don't think it's quite finished yet.
It needs a bit of paint, but definitely right up there with the Enginuity side of things. It's pretty wild. I believe they have a YouTube channel to follow the build. So I'm sure if you put in Project GT6 in YouTube, you'll find it.
For sure. I can link that one up here too, actually.
Last one
That's
for
easy.
you, Woody. What do you?
So my last one, and it is a bit biased because we are Aussies and I love this kind of thing, but it's the 83 Hilux from Fury Garage. So I have recently...
A local to us, they're not real
Yeah,
far
pretty
away.
local, yeah. So I've recently got a huge appreciation for four-wheel drives. I've been watching a heap of four-wheel drive content on YouTube myself. And I've actually seen Fury Garage before, so I do know the car. And this was previously powered by a Commodore V6 or a Buick V6 engine. And then it's been swapped out for the 5-litre V8, the Iron Lion, which is the same as that engine crane we had before. Very capable off-road car, and there's a lot of work that's gone into it. So hats off to them.
It's got a lot of tyre on it.
It has got a lot of tyre on it, yeah. Big
I'm not
tyres.
sure if it'll go through.
It's like 40-inch straps, isn't it? Yeah,
Through
40s.
engineering. Yeah, 40s.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Heaps of
But it that car would go absolutely anywhere.
Yeah, it's
Twin
wild.
locked 40s. It's got reduction gears and stuff too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And yeah, pretty wild rear end setup that they do themselves with springs that detach from the frame, like coil springs, to allow for maximum articulation. It's pretty cool.
Awesome car, and also you can check the Fury Garage up in the corner here. I'll link their videos for you. So at the end of the day, we have to pick a winner. So Alan and I discussed, and we had to come up with one. So drum roll.
You put a drum roll track in.
Yeah, I just did that.
Cool. So yeah, we decided that a rat truck rolling metal art truck F100 was probably the one to get the nod, because it's got everything that we wanted, as in Enginuity with an engine swap. It's finished, which is always a big plus for us.
Yeah.
I know projects take a long time. We, out of all people, know that, but it's good to see one finished and usable. He did a great video showing you everything in the truck. It's got some really impressive, like we said, art, like metal art on it, and some wood as well. So he's our pick.
For sure, yeah. So there's our pick for the winner. Again, thanks everyone for entering the international. Do you have to say it with
Maybe that's how they say international in Canada. And
International,
it's not actually a play on words, it's just how they say it.
The International Car Show, and looking forward to 2022 International Car Show.
So if you're going to enter, remember.
We've just built this Nissan Patrol with a 6BT ISB 24
valve P-pump.
P-pump Patrol. Check out our videos if you like that. We actually built the engine with Rich and Aaron and Blackjack in Canada when we were there. What year was that?
A couple of years ago, 2018.
2018. And we've just finished it off. Still not 100% finished yet. I don't think a project car is ever finished, but we'll be doing more videos on that. And check out more of our videos on YouTube. Right now, it is the afternoon. I've got to go home and edit this video, so I'm going to go grab myself a lemon squash.
I'm going to have a nap.
You're going to have a nap, are you? Haven't you already had like 2 today?
No.
Oh, no.
I'm old now. I need to nap.
Oh, yawning.
What about you, mate? What are you going to do?
Just sit there and be handsome. That's it. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for entering. We'll see you next time. Cheers.